Hi everybody, Mikey the 732 Review Crew back. I am watching Star Trek The Original Series, Season 2, Episode 12. This one's titled The Deadly Years. And last time we had the Capellans. We were on their planet trying to negotiate a treaty, accidentally violated some customs, and the Klingons were not very helpful because, I mean, why would they be really, right? I'm really excited to see where this is going right now, especially because we've had a lot of great episodes, a lot of great characters introduced, and everything's ramping up in terms of production quality as well. And I want to see how that goes, because last episode we saw some new additions, like the little view screens and communication screens. It was pretty cool. And I want to see what advances we get as we go through these episodes. So thank you for joining me. We are going to be starting this in 3, 2, 1. Starting beam down. Ooh, new character. But she's a woman and she's not in a red shirt.
I had a subspace contact with a Robert Johnson, the leader of this expedition, not an hour ago. His conversation was disjointed. His thoughts. Check out. Check that building. Mr. Spock and I will check this one. The rest of you take a look around, see if you can find anyone.
Oh. He's old.
Come in, sir. In there. A dead man.
Huh. Quite a response for somebody in the military, technically. But I guess he looks terrible.
Exactly what it looks like. Death by natural causes, old age.
I assure you that none of them would.
Oh! This place makes you old?
I'm Captain Kirk of...
You'll have to speak louder. I'm Robert Johnson.
How old are you? How old are you?
I am 29. And Elaine is
I'm 27.
What? This place ages you? How long have they been here? Are we at risk? I'm curious. Once I finish this series and get to the next generation, I never thought about the intro and what it would be like.
Of the 6 members of the colony, none of whom were over 30.
None.
We found 4 had died and 2 were dying of old age.
I can hear you. No death yet, you know.
Can you tell me what happened?
What happened? Elaine was so beautiful. So beautiful.
Oh.
He can hear you, Jim, but he doesn't understand.
Dementia?
Commodore Stalker, I've asked you to be a part of this briefing.
Commodore?
Gamma Hydra 4 falls within your administrative area.
I appreciate that, sir.
Huh.
Dr. Wallace.
Dr.
As an
Wallace?
expert in endocrinology, I'd appreciate you working very
So an
closely with
endocrinologist?
Go ahead.
My examinations have turned up absolutely nothing. In fact, I don't have a clue.
We're close to the neutral zone between our Federation and the Romulan Empire. It's possible that Romulans have a new weapon and are using this colony as guinea pigs. We'll stay in orbit until we have the answer. Thanks.
You gotta look at the fringe stuff.
I'm anxious to get to Starbase 10 to assume my new post.
Yes, Commodore. We'll do everything we can to make sure you make your due date.
Thank you, sir.
That guy has a nice voice. Doug yourself.
Is there something I can do for you?
Be a little less the cool, efficient captain and a little more the old friend.
Of course.
How long has it been?
6 years, 4 months, and an odd number of days. You mean you don't know?
He's been oh God, every pretty girl.
In all those years, I only heard from you once. A starground when my husband died.
She got married?
You know, you never asked me why I got married after we called it off.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I suppose that you met someone you loved.
I met a man I admired, a great man.
And in the same field as you, you didn't have to give up a thing.
Just you.
Is he like a drug?
The Comet was a rogue and has never been investigated. Facilities at Starbase 10 are much more complete than those on board ship.
I know you're anxious to get to the base, but we have a few facilities of our own here. I think the Enterprise will do quite nicely. I'll be in engineering, Mr. Spock. Maintain standard orbit, Mr. Sulu.
You already gave that command, sir.
Oh? Well, follow it.
Repeat command?
Doctor, may I speak to you for a moment, please?
Of course, go right ahead.
Well, I seem to be having a little trouble hearing.
Well, it's probably nothing
He's
important.
graying?
I never had trouble before.
Progress report, Mr. Spock.
All research lines negative, Captain.
Astronomical section reports that a comet recently passed by. Check into that.
I'm doing that, Captain. As per your previous order.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes. Let me know what you come up with. I'll be in the sick bay.
Acknowledged.
Okay, well, at least he's cognizant enough to check him in. If he makes it there, oh no. He's back! Page, so far.
Last one.
Scott, may I come up and see you?
All you need are vitamins, but you can come up anyhow.
Holmes, I believe you're getting gray.
Yeah.
You take over my job and see what happens to you. What's your problem, Jim?
Shoulder. Just a twinge. Probably muscular strain.
Arthritis, oh no. Real osteoarthritis.
Jim, I think we better run a complete physical on you.
Just muscular strain, isn't it?
It's advanced arthritis.
Yeah. They're getting old! Oh no! How's it gonna work on Spock? Wow. What? This is like the first time they haven't given me enough information to form a hypothesis. Although the Commodore is like squirrely to get back.
Dr. McCoy, Engineer Scott, Mr. Spock, Lieutenant Galway, and myself are all showing definite signs of aging.
Sheesh.
Only Ensign Chekhov appears to be normal.
The way he's walking too. Nice Chekhov
All
normal.
of us who went down to the surface, with the exception of Chekhov, are aging at various rates. Approximately 30 years for each day.
Oh my god. The makeup's great.
Based on what Dr. McCoy gave me, I estimate that physically we each have less than a week to live.
Makes sense. 30 years. At 7 days, you can't live 200 years.
We'll be little better than mental vegetables in a considerably lesser time.
Start with that.
What a way to die.
This is a nightmare.
Oh, you're perfectly healthy.
I must differ with you, Doctor. I'm having difficulty concentrating, which is most disturbing. And the normal temperature of the ship seems to me to be increasingly cold.
I did not say you weren't affected, Mr. Spock. You are perfectly healthy. That is, for any normal Vulcan on the high side of 100. You go down to your quarters and get some sleep.
No, I don't want to sleep. If I sleep, what will I find when I wake up?
That's so real.
Assume your position.
Gotta have purpose. Gotta keep moving. I guess that's what they were doing on the planet too. Damn, the mental trauma of aging like this is crazy. Oh.
All right, nurse, prepare Chekhov for another complete physical.
Won't hurt much.
I thought you were on your way to the biochemistry lab, Doctor.
We both go in the same direction. Once we find the proper line of research, it's only logical we find a solution.
Okay, Vulcan.
Sound like my first officer.
When I married Theodore Wallace, I thought I was over you. I was wrong.
You silver fox, you.
How much older is your husband?
26 years.
It's quite a difference.
She isn't the men that are older.
I don't want to talk about him. I want to talk about us.
What are you offering me, Jan? Love? Or a going away present?
Damn. You know, that was actually really good writing, that line. Love or going away present is crazy. I gotta like write that down for the future.
A needle one, Herr Chekhov. Take off your shirt, Chekhov. Roll over, Chekhov. Breathe deeply, Chekhov. Blood sample, Chekhov. Marrow samples.
Oh, Mara.
Reach over to 20,000 perigee, Mr. Sulu.
Has nobody seen it yet?
Captain, I am watching 4 very valuable and 1 almost irreplaceable members of the Starfleet failing before my eyes. I want to do something to help.
If you're so concerned, I'll send a message. Starbase 10.
You sent such a message this morning.
Oh, his memory is fading. Oh my god.
Fuel consumption report.
I gave it to you, sir, and you signed it.
If I had signed it, I wouldn't ask for it, now would I?
No. This is heartbreaking. There's crew to see too. I genuinely don't know how the characters are gonna live for 20 more minutes of this episode, let alone 30. He's taking a nap. He's taking a nap. No, they're being so tropey, so stereotypical.
Captain, I believe we have the cause of the affliction.
Okay.
The orbit of Gamma Hydra 4 carried the planet directly through the comet's trail.
Okay.
Resetting our sensors to the extreme lower range of the scale, undetected radiation appeared.
Chekhov was inside the building, so he was safe.
Lieutenant, take a message to Starfleet Command. And due to the proximity of the Romulans, better use code 2.
But, Captain, the Romulans have broken code 2.
Increase orbit to 20,000 mile perigee.
You said that.
You mean another 20,000, Captain?
I fail to understand why each one of my commands is being questioned.
You repeated them.
What is our present position?
Orbiting at 20,000, sir.
Damn, Spock's little eye movement. Everyone.
Radiation. Well, that's as good as answer as any, but why didn't we know about it earlier?
Doctor, the ship's temperature is increasingly uncomfortable. I've adjusted the environment in my quarters to 125 degrees, which is at least tolerable. However,
Well, I see I'm not going to be making any house calls on you.
I wondered if perhaps there was something which could lower my sensitivity to cold.
I'm not a magician, Spock, just an old country doctor.
Doctor.
Yes. As I always suspected. Mr. Spock, a starship can function with a chief engineer, a chief medical officer, even a first officer under physical power. But it's disastrous to have a commanding officer whose condition is any less than perfection. I would like you to take over command of the Enterprise.
For right now.
On the grounds that the captain, because of his affliction, is unable to perform his duties.
Okay.
Need I remind you, sir, that I, too, have contracted the same affliction. I am not fit for command. Well, if you are not, then obviously Captain Kirk cannot be.
Damn, the logic.
And as a Starfleet flag officer, I must follow regulations.
Damn, he's logicking Spock.
Please don't make me quote a regulation which you know as well as I do. Hearing shall convene at 1400 hours.
Oh, man. Who's gonna take over, the Commodore?
This isn't going to hurt a bit.
That's what you said the last time.
Did it hurt?
Yes.
No, she gonna die? She wasn't a red shirt. Dead.
She's dead.
No, I got fucking...
How long have we got, Paul?
Matter of days. Perhaps hours.
So, is there like a supplement or medicine that Chekhov's taking or not taking? I don't think of that.
This competency hearing was ordered by Commodore Stocker and reluctantly called by myself.
Let it also read that I consider it invalid.
I have tried to convince Captain Kirk of the necessity of proceeding to Starbase 10, but have been overruled in each case. The responsibility of this hearing is mine.
I like how he takes respect for it.
As presiding officer, the responsibility is mine. Would you like to make a statement?
Yes, I would like to make a statement. I am the captain of this ship, and am totally capable of commanding her. Let's call this whole thing off and get back to work.
It's quite impossible, Captain. The regulations are quite specific. You are entitled to direct examination of all witnesses immediately after the board has questioned them.
It's very kind of you, Spock.
How long have you served with Captain Kirk?
2 years, sir.
That been 2 years, really?
Did he order you to maintain standard orbit around Gamma Hydra 4?
Yes, sir.
Did he not several minutes later repeat that order?
Yes, sir.
Did he order you to increase orbit?
Yes, sir.
Did he not several minutes later repeat that order?
He did not. When I give an order, I expect it to be obeyed. I don't have to repeat my order.
He's aging really fast now. Wow. I love the mannerisms they're doing. Right?
Yes, sir. Captain Kirk repeated his order.
Thank you, Mr. Siller. You handed Captain Kirk a fuel consumption report.
Sir, he had more important things on his mind. The
Bowman, you will simply answer the question.
I guess he forgot he'd signed it.
Yes,
He forgot he'd signed it.
you may leave.
Very hard for them to speak up against him like this. It hurts.
Lieutenant Uhura, I have here a bulletin from Starfleet Command which states that the Romulans have broken Code 2. Whose initials are those which appeared directly below yours?
Those of Captain Kirk.
Did Captain Kirk ask you to send a message about the comet using Code 2?
Oh, yes, but he changed it to Code 3.
After you reminded him that the Romulans had broken Code 2?
Why does she get to stay, but Yeoman doesn't?
Dr. McCoy,
Fell asleep?
several hours ago, at the request of this board, you ran a complete physical examination of
Ah, they all look old. The makeup's great.
described subject's physical age using established norms as comparative base.
Physical, like body mass stuff.
Between 60 and 72, aging rapidly.
Oh, I'm 34. I'm 34 years old.
Really? He's my age? There's no way the actor's 34.
It is not his mental capacity,
degenerating even more rapidly.
Yes, yes, but he's a better man right now.
Doctor, you heard the computer's analysis. You agree with it?
Blasted machine, Spock. You can't argue with a machine.
Do you agree with it, Doctor?
I do agree. And I am sorry, Jim.
This is a tough situation, and they're wasting time doing this instead of researching.
You wish to call any witnesses, Captain Kirk?
I'm perfectly capable of speaking in my own defense, Mr. Spock. There's only one reason. And one reason alone for having this hearing. I refuse to leave Gamma Hydra 2.
Gamma Hydra 4, Captain.
Yes, a slip of the tongue. Oh, I'm a little confused. Who wouldn't be at a time like this? My ship's in trouble, my senior officers are ill. Trying to relieve a captain of his command is... Well, that's Spock. I wouldn't have believed it of you.
I mean, it's
All right,
necessary in this
questions.
type of moment.
We're in orbit around Gamma Hydra 2, right?
Or,
Anyhow, it doesn't matter. A lot more to running a starship than answering a lot of fool questions. A lot more. Ask me anything. Anything.
he's going a little bit senile.
No more questions, Captain.
I'll be in my quarters, awaiting a decision.
That was really dramatic.
Since the senior officers are incapable, I am the flag rank. I am forced by regulations to assume command.
So you have never commanded a starship?
What would you have, Mr. Spock? A junior officer with far less experience than I have?
Yes.
Set a direct course for Starbase 10, Warp 5.
Across the neutral zone?
Immediately, Mr. Sulu.
He's gonna start a war.
I've been relieved.
I'm sorry, Captain.
Yes. You should have been a prosecuting attorney.
Most Vulcans can.
If you're not in command, who is?
Commodore Stocker.
He's never had a field command. Man's a chair-bound paper pusher. I order you, take command.
Only Commodore Stocker can give a command order on board this ship.
You stab me in the back the first chance you get? Get out. I never want to have to look at you again.
Oh, don't say that. Yeah, man, that actually hurt Spock. See,
I admit I'm getting a little gray.
he's senile.
What about Chekhov?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He left us for a few moments.
He left us? He left us. He went into the building.
Yeah.
He saw the dead body. And he ran out of the building and he was scared to death.
Yes, yes. Now that cold sweats, adrenaline froze, adrenal activity
We have an endocrinologist here. How did she not realize?
was ancient history just after the atomic age, used for radiation sickness.
Potassium?
Adrenaline.
Oh. So you just need adrenaline dump. Okay. Well, that's why they emphasize how scared he was.
Lieutenant Uhura, let me know if we contact any Romulan.
I think we just made contact, sir.
Well, what do you know?
Commodore Stocker, what are your orders?
Somebody relieve him, please. Somebody relieve this man. For the shields.
Fly up to the bridge.
No, Jim, you can't do
Well,
that.
I've got to go to the bridge. We're under attack.
Nurse, Dr. Wallace.
I've got to go to the bridge.
Keep trying to raise the Romulans.
I'm
He's
trying.
a politician more than anything.
If I could talk to them. Explain to them why we violated the neutral zone.
The Romulans are notorious for not listening to explanations.
Greenhorn, they're running my ship.
Jim, if I have to give you a shot.
Ah.
Jim, boy, you just lay quiet. You can't do no good. We're both through.
No, my ship.
Oh.
My ship.
Make the necessary computations and produce this serum. It is crude and dangerous. We had no time for refinements.
All right, let's go.
It could cure or kill, Doctor.
You're gonna die anyway.
Give me any Vulcan details, Spock. Just give me the shot.
No. I'll take the first shot.
Makes sense.
How long do you think this ship can take the pounding? I've got to get up there.
Okay.
Jim, it could kill you.
I'll die anyway.
Yeah. Why has he not just said fire back? Just shoot back. Is he that afraid? Frozen? Analysis paralysis? Too much.
The aging process has stopped. His bodily functions are getting stronger.
Opinion, Mr. Sulu.
They know they have us. They know our shields will give out.
Well, then we have no alternative but to surrender.
Why?
The Romulans do not take captives.
It's derailed now.
What am I going to do? I've got to do something.
Report, Mr. Sulu.
He's like, thank God. Everyone's happy.
We're surrounded by Romulan vessels. Maximum of 10.
10?
I want full emergency power. I want everything within about 2 minutes. Open up a special channel to Starfleet Command. Code 2.
But Captain, code...
That's an order, Lieutenant. Code 2. Have inadvertently encroached upon Romulan neutral zone, surrounded and under heavy Romulan attack. Will implement the struct order using Corbomite device recently installed.
Oh.
Since
The
this will
Corbomite
result in
maneuver.
the destruction of the Enterprise and all matter within a 200,000 kilometer diameter and establish a corresponding dead zone,
They've done this before.
explosion will take place in 1 minute. Kirk, commanding Enterprise, out. Mr. Sulu. Course 188 degrees, Mark 14. Speed, warp factor 8.
They had the message on open. He's a bait.
Romulans giving ground, Captain. Obviously, they tapped in as you expected them to.
Warp factor 8, now.
It's a bad move from 5 to 8. Woo! Zoomed out. Jeez.
They're falling behind.
Are we out of range, Mr. Sulu?
Yes, sir. And out of the neutral zone.
Stay for like 2 minutes, everything's better. Yay.
Captain, I just wanted to assure you that I did what I thought best to save both you and the men.
Noted. You should know, however, that there's very little a starbase can do that a starship can't.
If I may say so, Captain, I am now quite aware of what a starship can do. With the right man at the helm.
There it is.
You looking good, Doc?
Feeling fine, so is Scotty. Serum worked.
Spock, get down there.
Because of your Vulcan physique, I've prepared an extremely potent shot for you.
Extra big needle.
However, I thought you might like to know that I've removed all the breakables from sickbay.
That is very considerate of you, Doctor.
Well, gentlemen, all in all, an experience we'll remember in our old age, which won't be for some while, I hope. Take over, Mr. Sulu. Steady as she goes.
Steady as she goes, Captain.
I thought I said that.
He's got a hot date tonight. I like that. I was hoping the endocrinology expert would do more, and it was a subtle hint towards there being like an adrenal gland issue with adrenaline coming to help. But yeah, I thought she would do more in terms of the research instead of just being a lover who was into Kirk. But yeah, that was a really interesting episode. I mean, very little detail was given to us initially about anything. So there was a comet passing by. I never thought about that radiation, but like small little bits of details were given in this episode that helped add up. You know, when he was inside, it happened. So I thought he was shielded from the radiation, but it wouldn't have made sense because everybody else would have been inside probably too during this moment, like when the original people were there. And so as a result, his being scared was weird to me, and I should have picked up on that too, but it didn't make sense at the time. I was just writing purposes. Where he's been in all these situations before. Why would he be afraid of a little bit of what would you say, like a little body, like being dead like that? I mean, okay, cool. I mean, I know he's, you know, seeing a body is never easy, but given the amount of times they've done things, they've had dead, and he's been around stuff, and stuff has happened, it's not a surprise per se that there's a body, and he, you know, reacting like that's interesting. And it was done on purpose to have the adrenal situation be plausible, which is pretty interesting that we use that for radiation purposes. I guess it makes sense. I work in the field with radiology too, so I'm radiology tech, so radiation radiology. Nowadays I don't think they give that currently. But at the same time, I don't treat radiation, I give it, so it's a little bit different. Now, moving on past that, we had a great episode in which we see, unfortunately, we had a character introduced, not in a red shirt, but she died from old aging, which I should have guessed because they've killed a few women in the show before that are just on the surface. We had the one that became part of the one that was sick on the Galileo, and that became part of the being or whatever it was. That was an interesting episode. I mean, this one, she unfortunately dies from old age, and as fast as she's aging, she's aging faster than the men. Maybe she had a pituitary gland issue. Maybe she had some gland issues, or maybe just women are affected more by the aging process. But it didn't seem like that based on the man and his wife when they were on the surface. So it's interesting. I mean, 30 years to 1 day is a terrible way to age, because right now I'm 30. I'd be 60 if I'd be 60 at tomorrow. Like if I went to bed right now, woke up, I'd be 60. That's so crazy. And I get why she didn't want to sleep. It's so traumatic, but God, you need to keep the purpose and the function. Now, the competency hearing obviously was for a valid reason, considering the competency of Kirk was questioned. He repeated orders, made mistakes, and all this stuff. But someone like Commodore shouldn't be given the command. It should be given to someone like Sulu or Hora, or as somebody who's watched Kirk act in these situations and knows what to do. He, being flag officer, was like, I could do it, but he had paralysis when he had too many options and didn't know how to fight back. He was in a neutral zone, surrounded by 10 warbirds. So like he messed up and he couldn't do anything, and they didn't want to do it. Now the problem is, in this situation, he also tried to surrender. Like, God, I think senile Kirk is better in this moment than Commodore, who's completely competent mentally. At the same time, it was a very interesting episode. I love watching them age and being grumpy, and their physical body acting, that everything going on was interesting too, with the makeup design, the hair design. Some of it was wigs, I believe some of it was actual hair dyed, and that's pretty cool to see. Now, in terms of this episode with the woman, it seemed like Kirk obviously has a lover every single episode. The doctor is one in this one, but she's not actively pursuing him when he's older, which means maybe it isn't, I'm trying to think about it. So because they made a comment about the husband being older, so maybe she was fine with him being like in his 50s, like 20 years older, but once he got too old, she was like, it dawned on her. And I don't think she was thinking about being with him permanently, just kind of like a send-off, like he said, which was a beautiful line. I wrote that, that mentally. Like, are you actually loving me, or is it just like a goodbye? It's like whatever they said was beautiful. It was poetic. Those bars, I loved it. Now, so Kirk, I like the acknowledgement from Spock, like the logic battle. I like to call those logic battles where you use logic against Kirk or Spock. I'm sorry, when you use logic against Spock and make him believe something, or make his thoughts come to a conclusion, like using regulation to get the hearing against Kirk, which, I mean, wasted so much time already. But at the same time, it was necessary to get him out of command. No, I like the logic battles though, where it's with Spock, but him coming a little bit more human in this episode, because of acknowledging his, weakness of being human is potentially causing these issues as well, is cool, because most Vulcans live older, but the human in him is actually having an effect on his lifespan and his aging, which makes sense, and his mental capacity too when he gets older. Now, while he was still more competent than most people, he considered himself less competent than Kirk, so that's interesting. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I had a really great time with this episode. It was really interesting. I loved watching them get out with the Corbomite maneuver again, which was a great tool, a great asset. I believe they used that to great effect, the bluffing, and just all that is perfect, especially the callback to the second, command secret order, like the second channel or second coding, encryption, which is a great way to let them know something, because while we were trying to hail, obviously they're not going to listen to a hailing, but they'll listen to messages being sent out. Yeah. Thanks for joining me. Take care, be safe, and check out Patreon full on. Support goes so far. Thank you.